You gave them the power to destroy themselves.
There's not much happening, but I feel so captivated for some reason.
Yeah.
Welcome to another episode of Decogged Reviews. Today we're going to take a look at Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
I know nothing about it actually. Still, other than I didn't know Chris Nolan was coming out with another film.
Yeah,
it feels
film.
like forever.
Yeah, there's actually a story behind the studio side of this as well. Like,
oh really? What is it?
Yeah, so he left Warner Brothers. So Chris Nolan left Warner Brothers. I think there was some sort of drama that came about like with the streaming side of things. So I think Warner Brothers was trying to push for streaming and less in theater. And you know, like Nolan is all about like the in theater.
Yeah.
So there was some like drama there. I don't know what happened, but he left, and I think he's with Universal. I could be mistaken, but yeah, I think Universal took him on, and he had like some crazy deal apparently.
Okay.
So he was asking for like $100 million budget plus $100 million marketing. He wanted like 20% or something. It was something crazy like that, like upfront, you know, like before the ticket sales even.
Okay.
There's all these like demands. Like he didn't want any films to be released from Universal during
that period,
during his runtime, like 3 weeks before and 3 weeks after.
Wow.
Yeah. So when he releases Oppenheimer, there's no film slate, and it's not just like films within the same genre. He said like no films from Universal, like at all. So like kids films, whatever, nothing.
What
like within
diva.
Which is crazy. Like the demands are like wow.
Yeah.
But you know, like I think Universal really wanted it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's proven himself, and he's a good director. He's good taste for the most part, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I loved all his movies except his latest one.
Tenet.
Oh no, actually no, I haven't even seen Tenet yet.
Yeah,
I didn't even like Dunkirk.
Oh, you didn't like Dunkirk? I rewatched Dunkirk recently.
Was it
good? It was good. I think watching it from like a different lens, because I think everybody didn't quite know what to expect with Dunkirk, and then you go in expecting this like story with like a character progression and evolution and stuff like that, and you got like very little of that. You just have like people doing stuff.
Yeah.
People trying to survive. That's the whole film. But I think going in the second time, knowing that that's what I was getting, I think you just start to like focus less on the story and just be taken in with the whole experience. What's happening. So you're almost like you're just there with them. And I think that, like, from that, viewing it from that lens made it much more enjoyable.
Yeah. So maybe I was thinking of something like Interstellar or Inception. Yeah. Where it's very, like, character development, like you said.
Yeah, it's, like, very character-driven. And there's, like, a linear...
Yeah, a linear path.
Path for the story, whereas this one was, like, it was so chaotic in a weird way. But I think maybe that was part of part of the movie, the purpose of the movie. But maybe I'll give it another try because I know it's in one of the streaming services. Yeah, I think it's more like when you watch it from a different lens, it's like watch it like for the cinematography. You're watching it for like the visuals and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. It's like, oh wow, this is actually like it's like a beautifully shot film. Like every shot in the film is like, wow, that's like I could just put it on my wallpaper. As dark as War is, I mean, it's still they managed to make the film look like very sort of artistic in that sense. I haven't seen Tenet though. Tenet, I heard mixed reviews because it's about time. That's always like this whenever it's something to do with time travel. I mean, no matter what film it is, it's like it gets pretty, like, people get really, I guess, like polarized about it, like the theory of time traveling. So I think Nolan, like, I mean, he's someone that loves, like I said, linear like storytelling, but he's anything but linear, right? Like he's always telling stories in like some crazy order. Like that's Nolan's thing, right? Yeah. So I think he just took it too far on Tenet. He just took it way too far, where it's just like you alienated like majority of viewers because people are like, what the hell is happening? Like I think I watched the film and I came out, I was like, what the hell just happened? Like I don't understand. You kind of loosely get you kind of loosely get like what happens, but you can't put the pieces together. It's like you have like a half finished puzzle by the end of the movie, and you're like, I can kind of see the final image, but I don't know what all these missing pieces are. It's just one too many missing pieces.
you know how like Inception, they don't tell you the final what happens, right?
Yeah.
But there's only one missing piece of information, so you can still be like, you can talk about it with your friends and all that stuff, but you still get the general message.
Yeah, you
right?
get you get
but
more
maybe,
of the puzzle completed than you do with the end of Tenet.
There's just too many missing pieces.
Yeah, there's way too many gaps in that final puzzle. Whereas Inception, there's like a few gaps, and I think if you rewatch it, like it starts to make more sense.
Yeah.
And then you start to appreciate it the more you rewatch it. Whereas with Tenet, I feel like it's gonna be painful even for me to go and rewatch it, because it's not something like it wants you to rewatch it. It's like one of those films that is like designs for rewatchability.
Yeah.
But like there's not much in there that makes me want to go back and rewatch.
Yeah.
Whereas for some people, like they probably love going back and analyzing everything. But it wasn't the same with Inception. Like I wanted to go back and rewatch it. There was like such good performances, and like the characters were like so solid. Whereas Tenet, the characters aren't like, there's no the characters don't have character. Like it's just very, I feel like everything's very bland on the character side.
Oh man, that's so crazy. Yeah. It's so not, doesn't seem like him. But,
yeah. So maybe Oppenheimer's like, he's like, look guys, I can still do characters.
Yeah.
I can do characters really well.
I'll show you. Cool. Let's like take a look. Cool. I thought that was my computer fan.
The world is changing, reforming. Is this your moment?
How could this man, he saw so much, be so blind?
The force from which the sun draws its power has been loose.
You gave them the power to destroy themselves. It made him the most important man who ever lived.
There's not much happening, but I feel so captivated for some reason.
Yeah.
The man who moved the earth.
I'm not gonna lie, the trailer, it doesn't say anything specific.
Yeah, there's like nothing going on, but
nothing going on.
It felt so intense at the same time.
Maybe it's the sound.
I think the sound,
audio,
like the sound design, and it's really well done. Like it makes you feel nervous, like on the edge, as it should, because the subject matter is very like serious, right? So for the people who don't know, like Oppenheimer, I think his name was Robert J. Oppenheimer. Was like a scientist who was the head of an institution in the US which basically made the atom bomb, so made nuclear weapons. The guy, right, like that everybody attributes as like the father of like the atomic bomb or whatever. So the research that they did ended up being the foundation for like what made the bombs that were dropped on Japan, so like Hiroshima, Nagasaki. And Oppenheimer is just a scientist, right? So the research that he was doing, I don't know if he knew where the research was going, like what that was going to be used for, or he didn't want to know, or he just like didn't care, but I think after the bombs were dropped, he was someone who was like extremely like torn. He was like devastated, basically, that the research that he's done, that he founded, is like
killed someone.
Yeah, exactly. So like he feels the weight of that that, like, I don't know, the tragedy, I guess, like. So this is like I'm assuming a biopic, so it must be pretty historically accurate to a sense, right? Where that's kind of the weird thing, is like, why would Nolan do like a biopic? Because he was always someone who's doing imaginative, like a very like expansive, imaginative, like big universes and like big spectacles. But like, how is this gonna fit in with his style of film? That's
I think it'll be good, because maybe it's like telling a story within the confines of something that's happened. It's very interesting, because it's more like you're inventing something that's pushing the human race forward, but then someone uses it, or a government body uses it for for war, something that
moves
I feel like
that's
back. That's a very morally challenging like sort of idea, and the guilt, I think, talking about the guilt. There's a story to be told there.
Yeah. I mean, those are famous. Yeah. I think he definitely wrestled with it.
Yeah.
Like especially after the events.
Yeah.
Because he had some famous quote where I forget the exact quote, so I don't want to butcher it, but he basically said like, I am become of death or something.
Okay. Yeah.
So he realized like he was like a conduit for like for so much death.
Yeah.
So and then it was like you could tell the man. I think it was a video that was recorded of him saying this, and you could tell the guy was like, he looked like like destroyed, like he lost a part of his soul or something afterwards.
Yeah.
So I think that's why it's going to be an interesting film, because there's like so many different like nuances to the events that happen, and like the person himself, like all the the right and wrong that he had to wrestle with.
It's easy for, I think, any film to side with right or wrong.
Yeah.
Usually it's like very black and white. But then when it comes to something like maybe a biopic, you really get a chance to talk about the gray, where
there's way more nuance. Like I know like with the Dark Knight, they like played upon that like nuance as well. Like what's right and wrong.
Yeah.
But like this is like, it's like there is no like right or wrong in this situation, right? Because it is so gray. It's like like if he didn't intend for his research to be used to kill like millions of people, is that like, is it morally wrong of him to have done what he's done? He's just researching, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, I think that's what the question will probably pose, like in the film, is like is it also morally wrong if you chose to ignore the possibility of what you were researching could, like the outcomes of what you were researching? Like
it's like blind, like ignore.
Ignoring
or
you're being
blindly
like
just
exactly. So like how much responsibility does he bear like for this? Like should he have treaded more carefully? But I don't know. There's so many different things, like, and people will have all these different
opinions
sides.
And different,
Some people will be like, the atomic bombs were great because they ended the war, But then some people were like, oh no, you didn't need to drop bombs. The war was gonna end anyway.
Yeah.
And then some people were like, well, it's just research, so like it's kind of like if he didn't figure it out, somebody else would have figured it out at some point.
Yeah. And then some people would be like, oh, he has a responsibility with that much knowledge, like, if you're inventing stuff like that, like you should know, or you should foresee it somewhat.
Exactly. So there's so many like different opinions and nuances to the conversation. I don't even know how I feel about the whole thing. I think maybe after watching this, I'll probably be able to like think on it a little bit more. But
I hope it doesn't give you the answer or like lean you to one side, but more like the problems that he was thinking about, or the character in this kind of situation would be thinking about, and then the audience sort of comes up with what they feel is right, or what they would do. Or at least like strike the conversation. Exactly.
So that people can actually, they have more context around the events, because it is like a big deal, right? Like this is like, it said in this teaser, like this is like how many seconds till the world forever changes, because the world has forever changed after nuclear weapons. Because it's like, before that, man didn't have the ability to destroy themselves, like destroy
to that level.
To that level where you basically destroy destroy the world basically. Whereas now they do. So the world has forever changed in that sense. It's like, as scary as it sounds, like it could all just end like within an instant.
One person can just click one of their buttons to send like a nuclear attack to another country, and
then it's over, right? Like that's it.
That's how it starts, and then everybody just shoots each other. Right?
And then exactly like the world becomes uninhabitable afterwards. So it's crazy to think that, but it's like,
and this is just from the explosion, not talking about like radiation. Like,
exactly. Like the radiation, the ash cloud, like the ozone, the big ozone gap that will end up happening, I think, if all the bombs get dropped. And there's so many things that like I think like once those nukes are launched, I think it's over, like I think for civilization. But that's the scary part. So
and to think about that, and now we're like just looking on YouTube about this trailer, makes me feel very fortunate, because at any point, like, It could have just like everybody could just annihilate each other, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Instead, we're making movies and talking about this like on YouTube.
It's like such a dark topic.
Yeah,
I mean, how else do you?
Yeah.
How else do you approach it, right?
Yeah.
But so it is very like a serious subject matter.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see how Nolan handles it, because it's not his cup of tea kind of thing too.
Yeah.
But so we should talk about the cast as well, because crazy cast. But yeah, like Cillian obviously plays. I think that's how you pronounce it, right?
Yeah, I think it's Cillian Murphy. I mean, if that's not how you pronounce it, I'm not sure how
Cillian?
No, definitely not. It's Cillian, I think.
But yeah, so Cillian Murphy is playing Oppenheimer.
My guy.
Yeah, my guy, man.
Peaky Blinders.
Yeah, Peaky.
Yeah. Dude, he's like
so underrated for so long. And,
man, he was so underrated. Then Peaky Blinders came out. Then like, I'm pretty sure all the girls just dropped their pants. Even I dropped my pants from him.
I dropped my pants. I was like, damn, he's so badass.
Yeah.
But I think he mentioned in an interview that somebody asked him, what it was like being in all these Nolan movies, because it's so grand and it's so epic and everything. It's always like this big universe and this like cinematic experience. And he was always like, his experience wasn't that when he was filming with Nolan. It was always super intimate.
Really?
Yeah, when you think about all the scenes that he was in with Nolan, it's always like very intimate scenes. Like in Inception, it was always like the father-son moment. Yeah. And like he was never like involved in all these like crazy fight scenes or anything, right?
Well, in Inception, he was dying. Like he got shot. I felt like that would be pretty. And the whole snow, like that building was collapsing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess most of his time is spent on these dramatic.
Yeah, the dramatic stuff. In Dunkirk, he was the traumatized like captain, I think, and he was the guy on the boat.
Scarecrow.
Yeah, he was playing Scarecrow, so like all the scenes with him were very much just like him and Batman, like interrogating Batman or whatever. So, when you look at the history of all the films that he was in with Nolan, it was all like very like personable and very like intimate, and that makes sense now because he's doing an intimate role again with Nolan. So maybe Nolan just trusts that intimate process with him. So.
I like how Nolan always uses the same people. Yeah, there's something about that. I feel like it's really nice. Like it just feels like he rotates between
like the same
guys. Yeah, and I think that's like because he can trust them, right? To deliver. Yeah. So it's good that Cillian Murphy is gonna be the main guy this time. So
that's true. Yeah, it's about time.
Yeah. And then it's cool because there's a lot of people here that like, of course we haven't seen Robert Downey Jr. in many things recently other than Marvel.
Like
Marvel
Iron
stuff.
Man, right? Like him and Iron Man are like so tied for so long.
Like his roles weren't just these these franchise big movies. Yeah. I forget, like I recently watched A Scanner Darkly again.
Oh right. I didn't even know he was in that.
But. Yeah. And then I was like, I almost forget. I'm like, he's so ingrained in my head, like as this franchise superhero now, that I forget his old stuff sometimes. Yeah. Even like Sherlock Holmes, like that's a very franchisey sort of movie, right?
That's a huge multi-film franchise. So
exactly. So I almost forget that other side of him. So it'll be good to see him with maybe getting into these meaty acting roles. Yeah. And of course, Jack Quaid. I only know him from The Boys.
Oh right, yeah. I haven't seen The Boys, so I don't.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And then Florence. I don't know how to pronounce the last name.
Yeah.
Pooh.
Pew. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. But she was
I know.
Black Widow's sister. Yeah. So I mean, she was a Black Widow too, right?
Yeah,
so I guess you can say she's Black Widow.
Yeah,
as well. Yeah. Emily Blunt.
God, she's my. I love her so much.
She's all time.
Yeah.
Right? So
yeah.
Good to see her in. I think that's her first film with Nolan as well. So a lot of first-time people actually, which is kind of interesting.
And this is the Mr. Robot guy, right?
Yeah. And also He plays Freddie Mercury and.
Yeah.
I mean, he was also the Bond villain. So he's been trending. I mean, he won an Oscar, I think, for Freddie Mercury.
Yeah,
I believe so. He's an Oscar winner now. You know,
yeah.
He's a.
Yeah, and then of course Matt Damon. Yeah. I mean, I can't
Damon.
believe Matt Damon's the last person that we're mentioning. Like, yeah. But yeah, obviously.
Matt Damon.
Yeah.
I mean, they worked together because he was in Interstellar as the the guy on the stranded on the planet.
Oh my god, I forgot. I always think I get The Martian confused with Interstellar sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, he basically played the same
Yeah,
character. It's just the alternate universe of the
yeah. I remember watching Interstellar. I was like, "Yo, is this related? Like, was The Martian like directed by Nolan?"
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't seen Matt Damon in a while as well. So
so
good to see him. Yeah,
man, huge names. I feel like he pulled all the strings to get it. It's
I'm
like the
excited.
all-star cast.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch this. Even just watching these actors perform, so it'd be good to see. I want to quickly go back to the trailer. I think normally if I saw just these sparks and flames and stuff like that, for the most part, I would think like this is like an After Effects sort of trailer by
like a fan made,
right?
This fan made trailers.
Yeah, but what's crazy is that it's the audio. Yeah, I think, and I guess the remaining shots, how it's very like they keep it really minimal.
Yeah,
Nothing's
it's like super ominous.
Yeah, and there's a narration towards the end, which was sort of confusing. But I think all of it added together, I was.
I mean,
I totally ignored. I ignored this like After Effects looking like. Obviously, it's better than After Effects, but like
there's not much to go off like on these like kind of like B-roll footage kind of like your stock footage kind of
yeah.
But the audio made it so like it was kind of like chilling. It's very intense. It's very like ominous.
Is it me or he looks really skinny in this?
He looks super skinny. I think Oppenheimer wasn't like a very like I think it was a very skinny dude. So maybe he was going for that like creepy kind of like dark and I don't know. It'll be an interesting. I'm just very curious like how he's gonna is he gonna try to make it like this big cinematic feeling kind of thing, or is he just going 180 from what he's done and just going like super intimate, very like like character and personable kind of film where it's like everybody's just like it's just like pure acting and no spectacle.
Which one would you prefer?
I don't know. I mean, I've come to love Nolan for the spectacle, so I want him to do. I want him to somehow make this into a spectacle. Which he might. But another part of me is like, I want to see Nolan just go like complete 180 and see what he can do. Like, see what kind of director he is when he drops the entire spectacle thing. Like, was that just a gimmick for him? The entire time.
Yeah, like the rotating room and in Inception.
It's just like. You've come to know Nolan as just someone who just makes these big films, but take that all away. Is he still a good filmmaker? Like that's the big question. But he's done films like this in the past, like Memento. Is like, but that's the only thing that people can look at and say like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I was hoping that it would be something more like that because it's like I want it to be very, very character driven. It's almost like. I don't need the spectacle. I can watch like a superhero movie or something else for that. But obviously he's good at blending the two together, right? The spectacle and the intimate,
the interpersonal drama.
So, but this one I kind of want him to make it very intimate, and he's always had a good choice with music, as well for his films.
He scores always on point.
So I think that would be very interesting for this film. For a grade, what would you give it?
Ooh, I mean, I'm pretty excited just because it's Nolan and it's Cillian Murphy, so I'm gonna give it like a 4.5
out of 5.
Out of 5.
I think I would give it the same, even though the I'm not giving it based on the simplicity
visuals.
Of the trailer. The visuals. But it's because everything put together, like it's another Nolan film cast.
I mean, the teaser was the topic, but the teaser was like.
It was intense,
Yeah,
but
it's
if
pretty intense. Yeah.
But if it wasn't Nolan and it wasn't like Cillian Murphy in this,
Yeah.
I would have way more doubts.
Yeah, yeah,
you know?
Same. Yeah, I think it's just another biopic.
Yeah,
it's just another biopic, but it's
exactly.
You know, it's not just another biopic because it is like it's Chris Nolan.
Yeah,
and he's got that $200,000.
Yeah,
200 million. I mean,
yeah,
budget. You know, to make this.
To make it. Yeah. So yeah, let us know what you guys think and what whether you're excited for this new Nolan movie coming out. If you like it, please comment, like, and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time. Peace. Thanks again for watching our video. If you like what you saw, please comment, like, and subscribe. Any support would be greatly appreciated. Peace.